today, let's get to business, shall we? Alright, don't mind my scarf there, okay? I'm just gonna fix it. And my last video was looking kind of crazy. Let me just fix it right quick, okay? Wait. Because since this is a flight attendant video, you want to do it more like a flight attendant, you know. There we go. Look at that. Don't we look cute now? Okay. What? Yo, alright. Okay, flight attendant. Okay, flight attendant. I see you looking good. Anyway, let me stop.
Bruh.
Hi guys, this is this is Vanessa, and I am back with another video. This video is probably gonna be like a shorter video, but it's still gonna be really informative. I'm gonna tell you step by step on all the steps to get into the flight attendant lifestyle. So if you guys want to see the rest of the video and all the information that I am going to give, please keep on watching. And one more thing, I want to see you guys supporting your black queen over here. Subscribe to my channel because I want to see you guys coming back. Anyway, keep watching this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you did like it. But move on. Action. Today I'm going to tell you how to smash the interview. I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks to get your foot into the door. So, I've been a flight attendant for 2 years now. I'm going to tell you what worked for me. I have a list of things on my phone. Hold on. I have a list of things. So, step 1, apply. This is how I first started, because I remember when I was inquiring being a flight attendant, I was like, all right, I don't really know what to do, how to start. I don't know anybody that works in the airline industry. So what I did is I Googled flight attendant Canada, and a whole bunch of flight attendant jobs offerings popped up. Because I'm from Canada, I wrote Canada. If you're from the US, just write flight attendant USA or flight attendant New York, flight attendant whatever. And then this website is called Indeed. Has a whole list of flight attendant jobs, just offerings. So I applied to all of them. At first I didn't know what being a flight attendant was. Like, I knew what it was, like it's the flight attendant on a plane, everybody knows that, but I didn't know like the companies, I didn't know the aircrafts that the companies were flying with. You know, there's a lot of things that I didn't know. So this was way back. It was like probably in 2015. Nobody called me. I didn't get any job offerings. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna apply again. So get your resume right, a nice clean looking resume, and I have a letter of presentation. So I applied again the next year. I didn't get no calls. I applied again, and then I applied again and again and again, and I kept seeing like some names were being more repetitive than the other ones. So like this job that I applied to like more than 4 times. So I sent my resume and I finally got a few calls back. So I got a few calls. When you apply, it might take a long time, but do it. Apply, 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 apply. Step number 2, hope to get called for an interview. And they finally call you or contact you for an interview. This is when the process begins. So usually companies will call you for a phone interview, or they will send you an email asking to do a phone interview or a video interview. That depends on the company. But most of the time it starts with a phone interview. So they call you to do a phone interview. They ask you like, are you able to work in Canada? Do you have a valid passport? Are you okay with like the schedule, whatnot? Are you okay if you work on weekends? You might work on weekends, you might work on holidays. And this is like 90% chance that you might work on weekends, might work on holidays, you might work for your birthday, you might work for your mama's birthday. Anyway, so yeah, depends on where you at. I guess in the US, they ask you if you speak English, obviously. But even in Canada, they ask you if you speak English. Well, first of all, they ask you all of these questions in English. And then they ask you if you speak another language. So some companies will look for specific bilingual flight attendants. Since I'm from Canada, and my parents are from Haiti, I speak French and I speak Creole and I speak English. This is a plus. If you speak more than 2 languages, that's a plus plus. If you speak 2 languages, that's a plus. That's like the basic. Just make sure, and especially because it's not a face-to-face, just make sure you sound enthusiastic, smile through the phone so they know that you mean business and that you have a personality. Okay, so now you get called for your interview. And then after that video or call interview, you get a face-to-face interview. So that's step number 3. This is where the game really begins. This is when you show all that you have to them. The face-to-face interview, make sure you wear a clean shirt, a clean makeup. Don't overdo it. I have a video that's gonna be up here. It shows you how to do your makeup for an interview. Make sure you look presentable. Make sure you show your personality. Depends on what's your personality. So if you feel like you have more like a quiet, shy personality, because that's how I am, just, you know, fake it till you make it. So be like all smiley. When you make sure you smile, make sure you greet everybody that looks like they work for that company. Make sure you greet everybody, shake everybody's hand. Hi, 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 hi. Doesn't matter. At least the person who's doing the interview, maybe you shook their hand too. I feel like over the years, we've always been told that you have to shake people's hand and it has to be really, really firm and tight. No, I hate when people do that. Just make sure when you shake somebody's hand, it has to be firm. Not like break somebody's hand. Just make sure it's firm. It's like, hey, I'm Vanessa, and that's it. Don't be out here breaking people's knuckles and shit. And you always gotta smile and have personality. Like I said, you can't just be like smiling. Yeah, I see online that. No, because I remember I went to this interview and I was so shy. Like I was so stressed that like all my answers were monotone and I didn't get it. So, and I know why. I know exactly why. It's not because I didn't answer the questions correctly. It's because I was so monotone. And I remember I had this white blouse. I didn't put a shirt over it. And I was sweating. And I was so nervous. I didn't get it. I know it's stressful. I know we're talking about a new job here. But relax. Okay? Be chill. Anyway, moving on. Let's start how the interview works. There's going to be like 30 to 40 candidates just like you. Mostly it's because they want to see how you act in groups, because when you're going to be on a plane, you're going to be with other flight attendants and they want to see how you know, react towards one another, even though you guys don't know each other. So you get there, you give them your stuff, because usually they ask you to bring all sorts of documents. Literally, when you sit, it's almost like that's when the interview starts. Because sometimes there's going to be this secret candidate that's going to be here watching you. I remember there was this one interview I did, and apparently there was this one person that was in the interview, but they were more like a decoy. So there was like a secret candidate per se. So like that person was here to listen to what everybody else had to say, you know, stuff like that. So make sure, you know, you always got to stay professional. Keep your opinions to yourself. Especially if they're bad. Don't act crazy. Don't start swearing because you think the interviewers are not around. And then they present the company. Like some companies, they like to like sell their company to you. That way if you get hired, you know what you're getting into. Then they divide you into groups of like, sometimes it's like 6 to 7 people, and they give you like a situation. What would you do in that situation? And then you got to figure it out with your group of yourself and other people. And then once that's done, and you do like a single interview, a one-on-one interview with the other interviewer. So when you go to your face-to-face interview, they're going to ask you questions like, why do you want to work for us? And that's the key question. Make sure you smile when you answer that question, and make sure you do your research. Whatever company you're going to the interview for, make sure you do some research about that company. Then when they ask you, why do you want to work for us? Well, you guys are really good companies, have nice values, blah, 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 just whatever you search for that company, that's what you're going to say. So research, because that is the key question, and make sure every time you answer this question, show your teeth, smile. The second key question you want to answer is, why do you want to become a flight attendant? Yes, you want to become a flight attendant because you want to travel. Of course, everybody wants to travel. That's everybody's answer, and they know that. But that's not an answer. So why do you want to become a flight attendant? Answer it with something else other than I want to travel. After that, you get to see if they chose you or not. So after the interview is done, the next step 5, is to wait to be called to see if you're gonna get a medical. So some companies, they give you your medical before you get hired. Some companies, they hire you and then they give you a medical. But if you usually get your medical, that's good news, because medicals usually are expensive. So companies don't want to waste their money on a medical on you if they're not gonna hire you. But it's not like crazy, like you don't have to be in top shape. You don't have to be like the greatest athlete to be hired. And the medical consists of checking your health, usually your eyes. They do test your blood pressure, your heart, blah blah. I remember this one company, I did a test for, like, we had to lift stuff. It's like I had to pick up this box from the bottom and put them at the top repeatedly, because like they want to see if you're able to, you know, pick up luggage and put them up in the overhead bins. It depends. It all depends on the company. But if you do get your medical, it's good news. They usually test for drugs. They test your urine for for drugs, marijuana, because marijuana in Canada right now is legal. So make sure you stop smoking a month in advance before your interview. Little trick, because they do test you for drugs and you're not allowed to do any drugs for this job. Once you do your medical, what comes next is you either get your hiring date, and your hiring date is when your training starts. Your training is usually from 4 to 7 weeks depending on the company, and you train really heavily on how to evacuate a plane, how to operate the doors, how to deal with emergencies like fires, first aid, unruly passengers. Training is, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, training, blah blah, that's it. No, training is hard. It's not hard per se, it's just that you learn a lot of stuff in a really short amount of time. You really have to be concentrated and just study really hard. Make sure you focus, and it'll be a breeze. And then after training, usually you do like a test flight. They test you to see if you know the plane. Well, they want to also show you how to do like the service and whatever. Anyway, so this is how you get your foot in the door. There's no magic formula to become a flight attendant. It's not the hardest job out there. There is a lot that has to do with customer service, because you do work with different kind of clientele on planes. I've worked with people that flight attendant were their first job, and I work with people that flight attendant were like their new career path, like lawyers that became flight attendants and stuff like that. But this should get you in the door. Maybe I'm missing some step. I hope I'm not. I think that's it. So this is volume 2 of the flight attendant tag, and hopefully you guys like these videos. If I'm missing some steps, or if there's something that you guys want me to clarify, you can hit me up on Instagram, on Snapchat, and on Twitter. I am active in all these 3 social media, and I'll answer all your questions. But if you guys did like this video, and if you guys did find it really helpful, give me thumbs up. Leave me comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys want me to clarify anything. Like I said, you guys can hit me up on social media or in the comments. If you guys want to see more of me, want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel. I want you guys to keep coming back, so subscribe to my channel. The subscribe button is over there. So all you gotta do is click the little button right here, and it's free 99. You ain't gotta do much, you know what I'm saying? It's never gonna change. Yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys like it, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.